RT, Hellcat, Demon, Scat Pack, whatever your needs, tastes, or budget for a go-fast Mopar, there's a Challenger that's just right for you. Now including the new TA. It's everything you like about the Challenger in a pure package that goes part old school and part high-tech to put on a hell of a show. Challenger TA is a simple all-American cheeseburger in a world of artisanal burger shops. It's just meat, 2 buns, and a greasy slice of cheese. No fancy toppings, luxury sauces, or special lettuces. It's the original recipe without the BS. This tester had all of the good stuff, none of the fluff, and focused on performance and looks. It's a unique collection of ingredients from various go-fast Challenger models, arranged with value in mind. The 6.4-liter SRT HEMI V8 cranks out 485 horsepower. It's got the intake system from the Hellcat, so the engine inhales from a hood scoop and air catcher lights in the grille. Behind the engine is a demanding but entertaining 6-speed manual. Further back, standard sports exhaust with big plumbing, and of course rear-wheel drive American style. And you get Hellcat spec wheels and tires and brakes, themselves with enormous Brembos clamping on huge slotted rotors. Those are bolted to a TA-specific suspension that's lowered and fixed and bolted to this body, which will be noticed in traffic. There are even hood pins that nod to the old Trans Am racing cars that this Challenger commemorates. Inside, cloth seats, Android Auto with a great touchscreen interface, unique white gauges, and the premium stereo system, though I have no idea what it sounds like because I prefer the music from under the hood. A Challenger TA like this one puts the vast majority of your funds towards all of the best performance kit, skips a bunch of stuff you don't really need, and translates into some serious bang for the buck. And the TA is still a Challenger through and through. Looks are distinctive, the latest cabin is modern and upscale, and there's plenty of space as two-door cars go, even in the rear seat and even up front for bigger folks. Good-sized trunk too, and this machine is road trip ready. On a highway cruise, the TA rides much better than it looks like it rides. It just glides down smoother roads, and though rougher ones can make the ride feel a little busy, it rarely feels harsh. I literally took one family friend, a little 84-year-old lady, on a 3-hour drive, and she thought it was fantastic. So this one's ready for even longer voyages, and the rumble of the big V8 is your constant companion for the trip. Notably, highway cruising revs are low enough to turn in relatively good mileage too. Of course, as an SRT-tuned Hemi, this engine is designed to work. Listen to that. The V8 is slowly becoming extinct, and one day you'll show your grandkids what this sounds like as a look back at the glorious world of combustion-powered performance. The sound is audible for a mile and always seems like it's reflecting off of the streets of Detroit on a muggy summer night. The acceleration is maniacal. There are 3 short gears, then 2 taller ones, and 6th for cruising. The gearbox is entertaining, smooth but heavy and highly mechanical, backed by a clutch that holds plenty of power and has a grippy feel but isn't tiresome in traffic. Your right arm and left foot will need to precisely learn the rhythm to change gears smoothly without any driveline lash. It's a demanding transmission in this regard, but here's a hint: the faster and harder you work it, the smoother it operates. In fact, much of Challenger TA's best stuff is strutted when you drive the heck out of it. This is unapologetically a big, heavy machine, not a high-precision scalpel. If you're playing Call of Duty and you pick the rocket launcher instead of the sniper rifle every time, this is the car for you. As such, it's best driven with more brute force than careful calculation, but my god, the fun-to-drive factor is through the roof. Turn on Sport Mode, activate the Super Track Pack to customize various settings, give it some hell, and she really comes to life. What you feel from the driver's seat is unique. The TA is very sensitive to your inputs. Just a tiny bit more or less throttle or brake adjusts the car's angle in a corner. Just tiny little inputs on the steering wheel point it around. Tighten the muscles in one side of your hand and it heads that way. There's less of a power curve from the engine and more of a power slab, so there's always plenty of juice when you need it. It's big and heavy, but it's also flat and tidy and does what you ask right away. With the long wheelbase adding a smooth and predictable dynamic to the whole thing, and the giant Brembos with more than enough stopping power, and the lowered suspension with specific tweaks for this model, Challenger TA handles its weight and nukes body roll just about as well as you'll ever see in something this hefty. So the real charm of driving this car hard is the sensation of using tiny little inputs to get this big hulking thing really cooking. It's hugely entertaining to feel this much mass around you responding so urgently to what you want it to do. And though it makes no apologies for its size or weight, when you grab it by the scruff and toss it around a little, your grin will be visible from space. And that's what these special Hot Rod Challenger variants are all about. Sure, it thoroughly enjoys fuel, isn't particularly classy, is hard to see out of, and requires very careful parking thanks to that low front spoiler. But for pure entertainment value, with a healthy dose of all-American performance and sound effects wrapped in killer looks and totally daily drivable, this just nails it. And just so you know, the TA is a load cheaper than a Hellcat and something like 95% as much fun to drive. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe so you never miss a new video from the team here at WheelScene, and remember to get in touch on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram by leaving a comment below or at wheelscene.com.